Thanks and welcome to the 6:15 with me, Kejan Henry Althimbi. Let's flag off with our headlines. As candidate for the October 12 presidential election, the verdict was delivered this Tuesday at 3:30 p.m. and as well as good number of petitions for different candidates also thrown out by the Constitutional Council. An operation to put an end to illegal occupation of public spaces and pedestrians' walkways by vendors at the market has been launched. The initiative successfully cleared off vendors from these areas, has making easier on how insecurity is rising in Douala. Top stories. Thanks and welcome to join me. I'm
Pulled out of the presidential race first by elections organizing body Elecam, then the Constitutional Council declaring him inadmissible August 4th in Yaoundé.
Le nez de gars, c'est-à-dire les 30 millions. Oui, un dossier qui est accompagné de l'argent. S'il n'y a pas de l'argent, ça ne vaut pas la peine d'apporter les copies d'actes et autres.
Yet, far from fading into obscurity, he continues to fascinate and polarize.
Vous savez que les mêmes causes produisent les mêmes effets.
Behind the outlandish gestures and moments of comic relief lies a story marked by hardship and determination. This famous statement that one can't add money on money has become his new slogan.
Mon âne ne peut pas être au trésor et moi, il vient ajouter l'argent sur l'argent.
Leopold Bear-Siping is above all a symbol of resilience, a man who believes in justice as God's wish, who dares to challenge the system. His non-compliance with form and substance, he says, is one to pass a message.
Et le message était le suivant. Requête pour qu'on reconsidère.
The message is the request to reconsider my candidature is for them to know all by putting the first page of my complaint against the state of Cameroon for over 2 years now in the Fundi Court of First Instance.
Au tribunal de première instance de Fundi.
Yet, he emerged with a profound commitment to justice and environmental advocacy. Despite his political marginalization, Leopold Bear-Siping has cultivated a loyal following. His eccentric communication style at times, theoretical, humorous and bold, the Bear-Siping phenomenon today.
En remettant une photocopie.
We're sorry for that mix-up there. We'll be coming back to Charles' report. That was the report by Beatrice Ngabo on Leopold Bear-Siping, whose documents or files were thrown out by the Constitutional Council. But we stay in Italy around the market where the right sidewalks have been cleared and, of course, pedestrian presence liberated by the city council, by the Yaoundé Council. In fact, Hure Amadou is saying that these actually disturbed pedestrians from circulating as well as other vehicles, as these sidewalks were mostly occupied by vendors. A report.
Clients like traders can now park their cars freely and have access to stores and the market to purchase their goods with the ease that goes with that. Before, this was impossible as vendors had occupied public spaces, pedestrian walks and parking space. This 5th of August, thanks to an operation conducted by law enforcement officials, they were sent packing. This act, one with mixed feelings, appreciated on one hand as it has eased circulation and makes mobility more fluid, making security and safety visible. For some shop owners around, this operation is advantageous as it allows their customers to access their shops more easily. Since they left, this zone is free. That is, clients can easily have access to our shops. But when they were here, it was difficult for customers. Despite these efforts to clear the area, some vendors remain disgruntled, pouring out their frustration and asking for solution.
So when they come and smash their things and ask them to go, it's not easy. You know, we have been sitting here since morning. I've not sold anything. because they are not there. If they are not there, we cannot sell.
However, others express concern that without these traders, it is difficult for them to have customers. Our goods are getting bad and we are obliged to keep them and sit here while waiting. The vendors are hoping that something should be done for them to get back to full business, like creating space for them in the market.
Thanks very much, Huri Amadou, for that report. And we still in Yaoundé, where the Constitutional Court or Council has thrown out the appeals of Professor Maurice Kamto, who was supposed to run under the Manidem.
A moment
in fact,
awaited
the
by
documents
many
were
here
thrown
at the
out
Constitutional Council as Maurice Kamto and his lawyers stand before Clement Atangana and the council members to receive his fate. After deliberations, the Constitutional Council accepts the two Manidem petitions for meeting the form but rejects all for lack of substantial elements.
The candidacy of Professor Maurice Kamto was rejected by the Constitutional Council. We find that the decision was more of politics than law. We were legalists, we did the job, and then we think he has to do his. Thank you.
Rejection for the 5 petitions of the UPC. From 9 a.m. this morning, the 3 factions of the UPC have been before Clement Atangana and members of the council pleading their different cases. Abdurrahman Hamadou Baba, Yam Timba Dominique and Jean Baibek with their lawyers, each advancing strong reasons and pulling the blanket for their candidatures to be considered for the 12th October presidential election. The divided officials of the historic party trying to prove who has the legitimate power to endorse a candidate for the election. Lawyers of Elections Cameroon and the Ministry of Territorial Administration also putting up strong arguments to disqualify all the candidates. The 5 petitions, including those submitted by Bapoli Port and Pierre Baligencourt, rejected in entirety. Robert Kuna's appeal seeking the disqualification of Cabral Liby's candidacy has also been rejected. As the council proceeds with the petitions, it is worth noting that nothing significantly has changed at this moment.
Thank you very much, Hassan Chair. We come back to Douala now, where growing concerns over rising insecurity is actually sending shockwaves across the neighborhoods in Douala. For example, in Boko, that is in Etage in Douala 3, there are reports that the people are living in constant fear, as we hear from you, Ambo Gladys Diba.
Fear has become a daily companion for many in Boko Etage, a locality in Bonadis, in the Douala 3 subdivision. Once a quiet residential zone, it is now under the grip of escalating insecurity. Residents say they are scared. They witnessed the latest incident just 3 days ago when they found another body near the entrance to the neighborhood, emphasizing this keeps happening.
Il y a trop d'agressions. Récemment, c'était juste en bas de la colline, au virage pour aller à l'entrée carrière. Hier, c'était ici. C'est de partout.
Nous avons trouvé un corps ici à la colline.
According to residents, cases of armed robbery, physical assault, and even deadly attacks have become all too frequent. The streets, they say, are no longer safe, especially at night.
Quand nous sortons la nuit, nous ne sommes pas assurés puisque depuis un dernier temps, nous n'avons plus la sécurité au quartier.
But the danger is not limited to criminal acts. The state of the roads leading into the area only makes matters worse. Poor accessibility, locals argue, has left them isolated, more vulnerable to attackers. Residents are now calling on authorities for urgent intervention, both to reinforce security patrols and to rehabilitate the main access route to the area. With fear mounting, the population of Boko Etage can only hope that their cries will prompt swift and effective action before things get worse.
Hambo Gladys, we stay with you as you are telling us that the Bank of Central African States, BIAC, has unveiled the NG 2020 app. It's a mobile app which is out to help verify the authenticity of banknotes. In fact, you are telling us that this is a real-time invention.
To stem the rising tides of counterfeit banknotes across the Central African sub-region, the Bank of Central African States, BEAC, has launched this mobile application designed to verify the authenticity of its currency. The app, named BEAC NG 2020, allows Android and iOS phone users to scan and check Type 2020 banknotes by comparing visible and tactile security features. With just a few steps, users can determine whether a note is genuine or fake using common physical markers embedded in notes during production. The initiative has been welcomed by financial analysts who see it as a much-needed digital solution to a long-standing problem.
I think this is one of the solutions the central bank has found to stop this increase of forged note, the volume of forged note in circulation in our countries. And the app has been chosen as a solution just to help the common citizen or the common utilizer of the note to stop this the increase of this forged note.
Available on both Google Play and App Store, BEAC NG 2020 offers a free, user-friendly interface that provides public access to authentication tools, something experts say will empower individuals and small businesses who frequently handle cash.
Cette modernisation des billets de banque.
We welcome this new application as a step toward modernization and enhanced security of the new banknote. With the updated security features, users can now detect counterfeit notes simply with their phones. It should be noted that the paper used in producing banknote is of superior quality, and the ink, which is offset ink, also meets high standard.
Et c'est tant que soit offset, c'est de haute qualité.
But while the app has received widespread praise, it has not been without concerns. Some observers fear that revealing security features, even if limited, could unintentionally equip fraudsters with insights to refine their counterfeiting techniques. Still, experts have reassured the public that not all features are disclosed.
There are still some features that are kept by the central bank to stop the second barrier or to put in place a second barrier after the first one has been already overcome by the forgers.
In the face of high-cost threats, BEAC NG 2020 stands out as a low-cost, high-impact tool. The central bank says the move is part of a broader effort to modernize its operations and restore confidence in physical currency across the 6 CEMAC countries.
And in culinary arts, as modern cooking appliances actually take over Cameroonian kitchens, demand for traditional utensils are actually plummeting. Once cherished household item is now fighting for relevance and competing with modern equipment. Sherifat Saleh looks into the cultural and economic shift of these once cherished traditional appliances.
The scene in this sector at Marché de la Gare is a quiet one. Traders sit idling behind their neatly stacked grinding stones and rows of wooden mortars, their eyes scanning the crowd for a customer who may never come.
Le marché de mortier, surtout les petits mortiers comme ça, sont devenus vraiment très lents. Natural something, like somebody that wants to pound achu or let me say like yam or palm nut, you cannot use a machine. You cannot use machine.
Sales of these traditional kitchen utensils have become a shadow of what they once were. In the past, mortars and grinding stones were indispensable tools used daily in households across the country. Today, they are more often overlooked in favor of faster, less laborious alternatives.
Grinding stone takes a lot of time. You have to be very fast to do. You have to sell in the market. You have to take care of the children. All those things you have to do. You don't have the time to be able to grind on a grinding stone for children to eat on time. So that's why we are using a machine, because a machine is more faster.
In an age where time and convenience shape consumer choices, many women say they feel compelled to adopt appliances that economize effort and speed up food preparation.
Even though I might want to use the stone, the grinding stone, but since I don't have enough time, I need to utilize my time. I will prefer the machine.
Some continue to favor the manual methods passed down through generations, insisting that grinding by hand delivers a better texture and more authentic flavor.
Si j'ai vraiment l'envie de faire un bon coquille, j'écrase sur la pierre.
Je préfère les condiments qu'on a écrasés à la pierre.
But this group is shrinking, and their support is no longer enough to sustain the vendors who rely on these sales for their livelihood. As demand continues to drop, traders are left waiting day after day for a return to traditions that may never fully come back.
Thanks very much, Sherifa Saleh. And as holiday season grinds on, travel agencies, of course, are particularly lively during this period. Young hawkers or schoolmakers are found competing or hawking alongside regular traders. But now this phenomenon, Huri Amadu says, is knocking out some of these regulars who are not at all happy.
From bottles of cold water to telephone accessories, foods and snacks, the products offered by these young vendors are varied and catch the eye of travelers. With their proactive approach and effective sales techniques, they manage to draw in customers, convincing them to try and confirm their products. The more experienced vendors are starting to feel the pressure of competition and feel their business is under threat. It is challenging to deal with these children because they often approach customers, whereas it should be the customers who come to us. Competition is tense and customers are becoming more selective. The older vendors are seeing a drop in sales in favor of these young sellers, holiday competitors. When they are in the market selling, even if a customer proposes something just for 100 francs, they sell it without hesitation. These school-age children are determined to reach their goal, earning enough money to buy school supplies and support themselves during the holidays. I am running this business to support my studies and to buy books and other necessities. Since there are many of us in the market, we face difficulties in making sales. Some days the business is good, but at times it becomes very challenging. In the meantime, everyone has to make ends meet to cover their expenses and needs during this holiday season before entering the new school year.
Huri Amadu shutting the doors for this edition of the 6:15. Having Kejang Henry Athembe, we thank you for being there with us. Goodbye.